In this video, I'm going to show you how to create component orthographic drawings for the microphone and the microphone cover. Before you go any further in this video, you need to download a file from Google Classroom. You must download this file into your technical folder on your space of the school network. The file you need to download from Google Classroom is called Mic and Mic Cover Orthographics. If you don't know how to download a file from Google Classroom, ask your teacher for help now. Once you've downloaded this file into your technical folder, open it. So in order to open it, we need to click on File and then Open. Make sure that in the look-in area here, you can see your technical folder. If you don't know how to get to your technical folder here, ask your teacher for help now. Once you've found your technical folder, scroll down the list of files until you find the Mic and Mic Cover Orthographics file. When you find it, select it and then click Open. Production drawings are vital in graphic communication because they contain the type of graphics required in order to manufacture a product. When we create production drawings, we always create them in the same order. The first step is to create the drawing views. The second step is to add center lines to the drawing views. The third step is to add dimensions. The fourth step is to add the view labels. The fifth step is to add any lines to the title block sketch in order to separate any drawing components. And then the sixth and final step is to complete the title block. Now we will start step 1 of that. We are going to create the drawing views for the microphone and for the microphone cover. To do this, we move the mouse to the top left-hand corner of the screen and click on Base. Once the drawing view menu appears, click on the yellow folder. We should be looking in our technical folder here. If you don't know how to get to your technical folder, ask your teacher for help now. Once you've found your technical folder, scroll down until you find the file called Microphone. Once you find it, select it and click Open. On your screen will appear the front view of the microphone you created when you went through the videos. This view is called the elevation. We now need to create the plan. The plan view is the top view. So in order to create that, move the mouse above the elevation view we've created. And when you see that faint green square around it, left click. Then click OK. We're now going to move these views to the left-hand side of the page. To do that, move the mouse over the elevation, it's the front view, until you see this red border appear around it. When you see the red border appear, click and hold the left-hand mouse button and then move the mouse across to drag this across. And then we're going to do the same thing with the plan view and just drag it a little bit further down the page. Now we're going to insert the views for the microphone cover. So again, anytime we're putting a new model into these drawings, we click on Base in the top left-hand corner of the screen, click on the yellow search folder. Here again, make sure in the look-in area you can see your technical folder. If you don't know how to find your technical folder, ask your teacher for help with this. In here, you're looking for the file called Microphone Cover. When you find it, select it and then click Open. Okay, we're looking to create an elevation and a plan here. This view is the elevation, so I'll move the mouse above and click to create the plan. Then I'm going to click OK. And I want to drag these views across the right-hand side of the page. So again, it's exactly the same process as did before. Move the mouse over the elevation, find the red box, and then drag this across here. And want to bring the plan a little bit closer to this. So move the mouse over the plan, find the red box around it, and drag that view down. We've now created all of the drawing views required for this sheet. So that's step 1 complete. At this stage, we're going to save our progress. So move the mouse to the top left-hand corner of the screen, click on the orange File button, and then click Save. We don't have to click Save As at all here because we've already called this file Mike and Mike Cover Orthographics. We will only use the Save As option when we need to rename a file. We're now going to start step 2, adding center lines. In order to add center lines, we need to click on the Annotate tab. The center lines options are in the center of the screen at the top here. We've got 3 options that we're really going to use with this. The first one will be this one here, the center mark. The one above it, center line. And the one to the right of it, center line bisector. The center mark is used wherever we can actually see circles. So we're going to select the center mark to start with. And then whenever you see circles, we want to select the circle. We'll start with the views of the microphone. The plan view here, there's a circle. So I'm going to move the mouse over it until the circle turns red and click. That's then added center lines for the circle. The only other circles I can see on this sheet are these circles here for the top of the microphone casing. Where you've got lots and lots of concentric circles, that means circles that share the same center, all you have to do is move the mouse over the largest of the circles and click. That will add the center lines for all of the circles in one go. Okay, we're now going to add the center line for the microphone. There should be a center line, goes right up the center here. In order to do that, I'm going to select the center line option from the top of the screen here. And I'll move the mouse to the middle of the top of this, and you'll see the green dot appear. Left click once, move the mouse down to the bottom line. When you find the green dot, click again. And then to finish drawing that, move the mouse somewhere outside the drawing, and then left click. Now we're going to add a center line down the middle of the microphone casing. We'll do that in the same way as we did the microphone. So move the mouse to the top and click on the center line option. Then move the mouse to the top line of the microphone casing. When you find the green dot, click. Then move the mouse down to the bottom line. When you find the green dot, click. Move the mouse outside so you can see the center line, and then click again to apply it. That's all of the center lines that need to be added to this drawing. At this stage, we're going to save our progress, so move the mouse to the top left-hand corner of the screen, click on the orange File button, and then click Save. We're now ready to start stage 3 of the process, adding dimensions. When adding dimensions to production drawings, we need to add enough dimensions in order to be able to manufacture these parts. So we'll take you through how to add those dimensions just now. In order to add dimensions to a drawing, you must first of all ensure you've got the Annotate tab selected, and then you click on the Dimension tool, which is at the very left-hand side of it. We'll first of all add the dimensions to the microphone. First, we'll dimension the circle shown on the plan. So to do that, select the circle, move the mouse out, and click somewhere in order to apply a dimension. You then see this Edit Dimension box. There's nothing to change here, so we just click OK. Now we want to add the overall height of the microphone to the elevation. In order to do that, we need to move the mouse to the left-hand side of the horizontal line at the top. When you see the green dot, that means it's the end of that line, click. Then move the mouse to the bottom left-hand corner of it. When you find the green dot, click. Then move the mouse to the left-hand side. Anywhere around about here, click. Then say OK. We now need to dimension the size of the fillet. To do this, we're going to zoom in on this curve here. So move the mouse over the curve and roll the middle mouse button towards you. We don't want to click where we see the green dot this time. We just want to click on the red curve, and when you see that circular icon appear beside the cursor. So when you see that appear, click, move the mouse out, and then click again. There's nothing to change on this dimension, so we click OK. I now want to see the whole of the drawing sheet, so I'm going to double click the middle mouse button. Now we're going to add the dimensions to the microphone casing. So I'm going to select dimension from the top left-hand corner of the screen. I'm going to click on the largest circle on the plan, move the mouse out and click again. There's nothing changing at this dimension, so I'm going to click OK. We're now going to add dimensions to the elevation here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add the vertical height of the microphone casing. So I'm going to move the mouse to the bottom left-hand corner of this, and when I see the green dot for the endpoint, I'm going to click. Then I'm going to move the mouse to the very top line and the left-hand side till I see the green dot. Click again, move the mouse out and click to place that dimension in there. There's nothing to change with this one, so I'm going to click OK. Now I'm going to add the diameter for this circle on the top. I'm going to add the diameter to the elevation. So I'm going to move the mouse over the straight line, click, then move the mouse up and click again to set the dimension. There's nothing to change with this, so click OK. We're now going to dimension the size of the chamfer here. To make this a bit easier, I'm going to zoom in on this area of the drawing. So move the mouse over the sloping edge and roll the middle mouse button towards you. I'm going to make sure I've got the dimension tool selected. Then on the top corner of the top line, click. Then on the next line down, when you get to the end of it in the green dot, click again and move the mouse out to the right-hand side and click. This time, we need to add some details into this edit dimension box. So click in it after the arrows in the dimension and then type in X on the keyboard, then 45, and then move the mouse to these dark grey boxes and select the centre one, the degrees option. Once you've done that, click OK. You can see what's happened here. It's made that dimension read 5 times 45 degrees. And this is how we dimension a chamfer. However, what we mustn't have with the dimensions is we mustn't have the extension lines broken by the number. So we're going to have to change the position of the numerical value of this dimension. In order to do that, press Escape on your keyboard, and this will deselect the dimension tool. Then move the mouse over the number part of the dimension, click and hold the left-hand mouse button, and then drag that dimension downward. When it sits in a position something like that, let go of the mouse button, and that's it. That's this now changed in the correct position. I now want to zoom out a little touch by rolling the middle mouse button away from me, because I've got one more detail I want to add to this drawing here. I want to tell people how thick the wall thickness that we made this part was when we shelled it. In order to do that, move the mouse to the top left-hand corner of the screen, ensure you've got the Annotate tab selected, and then click on the Text tool just along from it. Then move the mouse down and click somewhere to the right-hand side of this elevation. In here, we're going to type in the size of the wall thickness. So we're going to type in 3 millimeters, wall thickness. Once we've typed that in there, click OK. I now want to view the whole sheet. So I'm going to double click the middle mouse button. That's us finished the stage of adding dimensions. So we're going to save our progress so far. So move the mouse to the top left-hand corner of the screen, click on the orange file button, and then click Save. We're now going to start stage 4 of this process, adding the view labels. What we mean by view labels is the names of the view. So elevation, end elevation, plan. We would also add titles to the drawing views too. So the one on the left-hand side is the microphone, so we would add microphone. And the one on the right-hand side is the microphone cover, so we would add the title microphone cover to the right-hand side drawings. In order to add text, it's the same stage as we did for adding the wall thickness. Move the mouse to the top of the screen, make sure you've got the Annotate tab selected, and then select Text. I'm going to move the mouse underneath the plan view of the microphone first of all, click, and then type in plan. Ensure that you give this a capital letter at the start, and then click OK. Then we'll add the view label for the elevation here. So move the mouse to underneath it, click, and type in elevation. Again, ensure you're giving it a capital letter at the start, then click OK. And we're going to repeat this exact process for the microphone cover drawings. So move the mouse underneath the plan here, type in plan, again making sure it's got a capital letter, and then move the mouse underneath the elevation, click, type in elevation, again ensuring it's got a capital letter at the start, and click OK. I'm now going to add the titles for these drawings. So I'm going to move the mouse to the top left-hand corner of the drawing sheet, in the space about here, click, I'm going to type in microphone, and then click OK. And then on the right-hand side of the sheet, beside the plan view for the microphone cover, I'm going to click somewhere about here and type in microphone cover. And click OK. Now that I've added all these labels and titles, we're just going to make sure that they are positioned correctly. So before we're going to further with this, I'm going to press Escape on my keyboard. And in order to make this a bit easier, I'm going to zoom in a little bit on each view. So first of all, I'm going to move the mouse over the plan view of the microphone and zoom in by rolling the middle mouse button toward me. And I'm going to move the mouse over the word plan and just make sure I drag it into position where it's central with the view. I'm then going to pan the view down a little bit so I can see the elevation. And to pan the view, click and hold the middle mouse button. And I want to move the mouse up and repeat until I can see the bottom of this. And again, I'm going to position this word elevation so that it's positioned centrally around this view. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing for the views for the microphone cover. So I'm going to double click the middle mouse button so that I can see the whole thing. Zoom in by rolling the middle mouse button toward me on the plan view. Drag that word plan so it's central. Pan the view by clicking and holding the middle mouse button and moving the mouse up until I can see the bottom of this, and then drag the word elevation until it's positioned centrally around the elevation of the microphone cover. I now want to see the whole sheet again, so double click the middle mouse button. That's me finished this stage, so I'm going to save my progress. So in order to do that, move the mouse to the top left-hand corner of the screen, click on the orange file button, and then select save. We're now going to start stage 5 of this, adding lines to separate the components. In order to do this, we need to move the mouse to the left-hand side of the screen, to the modelling tree here, and where you see the word title block, move the mouse over that and right-click. Then select Edit. In order to add the line here, I need to move the mouse to the top left-hand corner of the screen and select the Line tool. Then I'm going to move the mouse down to the bottom part of the title block and click on the end point of the box beside the word Date. When you see the green dot, click, then move the mouse up, making sure this line is completely vertical. When you reach the top of the border and the line turns green, click. That's done this, so we're going to click on Finish Sketch. We've now completed separating the components, so I'm going to save our progress so far. Move the mouse to the top left-hand corner of the screen, click on the orange File button, and then click Save. Stage 6 of creating these production drawings is to complete the title block. There are 3 areas of the title block that we need to complete: the drawn by, the date, and the scale. We need to edit the text in these 3 areas. Now, to do that, move the mouse first of all over the drawn by text and roll the middle mouse button towards it to zoom in on it. Then move the mouse over it until you see it highlighted in red. When you see that, double-click the left-hand mouse button. In the Format Text box, type in your name after drawn by. When you've done that, click OK. We're now going to pan the view across to the right-hand side in order to see the date and scale text boxes. So again, to pan the view, click and hold the middle mouse button and move the mouse this time to the left-hand side to drag the view across. To change the date, move the mouse over the word date till it turns red, double-click the left-hand mouse button, and then type in today's date. Once you've done that, click OK. Then we're going to edit the scale, move the mouse over the word scale till it turns red, double-click the left-hand mouse button, and then type in the scale. And the scale we used for this one was 1:1. Then click OK. Now I want to see the full screen view, so double-click the middle mouse button. We've finished this now, so I want to save our progress. So click on the orange file button in the top left-hand corner of the screen, click File, then click Save. That has now completely finished the production drawings for the mic and mic cover component orthographic views. What we're now going to do is create a PDF of this sheet in order to upload this drawing to Google Classroom. To do this, move the mouse to the top left-hand corner of the screen and click on the orange File button. Then click Export, then click PDF. Check that your technical folder is here in the Save In part. It should be. It's because Inventor will automatically go back to the previous folder it was saving things in. And then you click Save. What you now need to do is upload the PDF file called Mic and Mic Cover Orthographics to the assignment you've been set in Google Classroom. If you don't know how to do this, ask your teacher for help now. That's this video finished, and you're ready to move on to the next one.